you're Vietnam. This is funny. Times of India says NASA warns that a giant 210-foot yacht-sized asteroid is set to pass by Earth alarmingly close, namely 2.1 million miles away. In 2029, Apophis is supposed to pass less than 20,000 miles away. What is this alarmingly close? If alarmingly close is 2.1 million miles away, then Apophis is a lot more than alarmingly close. Do kaiju disrupt your sleep? I was sleeping fine until some kaiju came and woke me up last night. It's all kaijus and waifus. So, it's 5 in the morning, police at my door. It's almost 6 in the morning, police at my door. Here we go. Now we're ready to live, love, learn, and lead. I'm a leader. Hi, Doherty Blasick. How's Serbia treating you? Remember, Doherty Blasick, it's not Siberia. All right, don't get those two things confused. Don't think you're in Siberia. You're not. All right, it's a different place. You need to get that through your head. So I got a typing session at 9:30 this morning, and then after that, I'm gonna finally go to town and get my what? Rhymes with bladder ball? That's right. I finally go to town and get my Adderall. It'll be like at 10:30 or something. I got a few errands I got to do this morning. But not right this second. Interesting, like as soon as I started streaming, I feel like maybe I've got some poo in me. Oh yeah, I contracted ADHD from a mosquito. I have mosquito-borne ADHD, which is maybe the worst kind of ADHD to have. Hello, Anakin Kickna. What is the only way to make a fortune inside a fortune cookie come true by eating the cookie with the fortune still inside? Well, and that would eliminate your possibility of evaluating whether or not it were true. You wouldn't be able to read it. I gotta go poo now. All of a sudden, the poo just pushed its way down to the bottom of my butt. I cannot keep up with the new sicknesses they keep coming up with. Well, just remember that no matter what the sickness is, it justifies them locking you inside for years. That's how it works. Basically, the problem is you're outside and therefore killing people. You need to stay inside and save lives. Hi, Michael Toblerone. What is the only way to... Oh, I read that already. That was a pretty good poop. Pretty good poop indeed. I just saw an article in the Wall Street Journal that said social media influencers aren't getting rich; they're barely getting by. Well, naturally, I said, "Hey, I'm a social media influencer. This article is about me. I'm an incredibly influential influencer." All the teenagers are watching my videos to see what's cool. Now they think pooping is cool. They didn't used to, but now that I'm doing it on camera here, they think it's cool. Hi, Brazil. Bienvenidos. I don't know if bienvenidos is welcome in Portuguese, but bienvenidos anyway. Poor Brazil, getting stuck with Portuguese. Everyone around them speaks Spanish. Ah, well, that feels a lot better. Got my poop out of me. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. We're gonna have a real party pretty soon. So apparently Landon Donovan got hair transplant surgery like 2 weeks ago, but it didn't like set quickly enough in time for him to look good on his commentating job. So he looks kind of ridiculous right now. Hi, Carlos Paiva. What's up with you? You're a fan of Portuguese, right? Somebody's here from Brazil. The other country that speaks Portuguese. There's like 2 countries in the whole world that speak Portuguese. And the bigger of the 2 isn't even Portugal. Yeah, that's right. Well, because somebody from Brazil was here, and I was just saying, poor Brazil. They have to speak Portuguese, and everyone around them is speaking Spanish. There are more in Africa. I'm pretty sure those don't count, Carlos Paiva. Okay. Hi, Jess Colonel. How's it going? Are you speaking Portuguese in Africa? Brazil's a good movie. It's an old movie. Hi, Alex R.A. How's it going? We're just killing a little time this morning. I've got a typing session in a few hours. I'm not going to stream all the way until then, but you're hard boiling some eggs to give them to your stepsister while she's stuck in the washing machine. Sure, understandable. No doubt she just got back from not doing her homework and being dressed inappropriately. You may be in college, young lady, but as long as you live under my roof, you're going to live by my rules. Now get back in the washing machine. Timor near Indonesia speaks Portuguese. Also, some places of China, some places in India, even in Portugal, they still speak Portuguese. So keep that in mind, everybody. Keep that in mind. And let's not deny it. Portugal had a chance in the Euros. They always have a chance. Japan used to have some Portuguese speaking stuff going down. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I will say this. It does seem like during the colonial era, that Portugal did a little bit of a better job of colonizing than, say, France, Oh no! Look what I did. I broke my bowl. How sad for me. Well, that sucks. I have to get another one of those. You sell edibles and weed? Good for you. Kazuki, hello. Your kaijus keep coming to my house and waking me up while I'm asleep. Yeah, well, the French used to own a part of Shanghai called the French Concession. It's still very French there. It's a cool place to go if you're an expat living in Shanghai. You go to the French Concession. It's like a little piece of France in the middle of Shanghai. Hi, Nazrin Ibrahimzad. Ohayo, moshi moshi. Atakimasu. Yokata. So desu ka. I'm from California, America. Japan, I love your cartoons so much. I watch them all the time. Arigato hasayamasu. I love them. I cannot stop watching your cartoons. He said he got a foreclosure for his weed edibles business, struggling small business. I'm sorry to hear that. Wakata. Wakarimashita. So desu ka. I'm all out of anime. So I've been watching this, I've been watching my backlog of anime, which it's like kind of mediocre shows that I haven't watched before. Watched everything good already. Anyway, my point is, I just want to say to Japan in response to their cartoons, Arigato hasayamasu. Domo. I watch your cartoons all the time. And you know what? They are not baka. Okay? They're the opposite of baka. I want mota, mota, mota anime. I don't really speak any Japanese, but as you can see, I've learned a lot of words of Japanese from watching cartoons. You can make your own anime or manga using AI. Well, I have several very good concepts for animes that I'd like to make, but probably never will. How am I going to smoke weed now? What am I going to do? I think maybe I have a bowl in the car. I have another broken bowl here. Let's go look in the car. There might be a bowl in the car. Come on, let's go check it out and see. Bye. Sayonara. That's the word in Japanese. Sayonara. Let's go look in the car and see if we can find a bowl. Well, I guess I just have to pull bong. I mean, I guess I have to just smoke joints. Oh, wait, no, here it is. It's still broken, but it's less broken. It's still broken, but it's less broken. So I could try this. I don't know, Daniel Veswari. Do Kaiju disrupt your sleep? Hi, Natasha CG. Is that Natasha Godfrey Ashford? Godfrey Ashford? Is that the same Natasha? Hi, Zach from Italy. Good afternoon from California, America. Korean guy. Dambe Pidan Shigani da. I'm not nearly old enough to have fought in Vietnam. Hey, it is Natasha Godfrey Ashford. Okay. Well, now you're Natasha CG. I'll keep that in mind. So I'm pretty sad because I broke my bowl. I don't have any unbroken bowl. I have to go to the smoke shop in town. No, I don't want any golden shower, Nick. Thank you. They can't see through you with their blind eyes. Good for you, Natasha. You're protecting yourself with other people's blindness. I appreciate that. No, Nick Lomas, stop being sweaty and gross, okay? Why don't you stop being sweaty and gross or go to OnlyFans or something rather than hanging out on YouTube where people don't pee on each other or show each other their feet, okay? Get it right. I'm sorry, Avinash Yadav 814 from India. Namaste, 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 and welcome. Bienvenido to Talking with Spanish People. Or, as they say in India, would you like a super big gulp? Hi, India. Hi, Italy. Hi, Korea. Hi, all the other countries that are not America. Yeah, I read the order in which I see them is correct. Sometimes I need to be reminded by Daniel Viswani that I missed somebody. Love from America, Avinash Yadav 814. It's like I go down and I kind of skipped that person and then I forgot about them, you know. So I appreciate the reminder. I didn't feel confronted, I felt reminded. So thank you for that. And sorry I skipped you, India. I didn't mean to. I got nothing against you or your country. That is my kitty sleeping. She's sleeping very cutely as usual. I don't know how you sleep with your head like all twisted around like that, but she does it all the time. All right, well, I broke my bong after just like two bong rips, so obviously that's not gonna be enough bong rips. I'll have to roll a joint, I guess. My broken bong leaves me no choice. I know it is the final countdown. I scheduled a typing session this morning for 9:30 on the grounds that, well, this will make me less ridiculous, like waiting for the pharmacy to open at 9 a.m. shit, you know. I won't get there till like 11. It's better that way, you know, it's a little less. I feel less like a drug addict that way. So when I come back here, it'll probably be about noon, right? Maybe a little after noon, maybe like 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, I should be like, "Hi, everybody. How's it going? It's me. It's Eric. It's great to see you. I'm really excited to be streaming right now." That's what it's going to be like at 1 p.m. Okay? You can expect that. Right now, though, it's not like that. Right now, we're pre Adderall. So, Cindy, no, I had the, well, I wouldn't call it full on sexual intercourse, but you know, my wife attended to me last night before I went to bed. We went to bed, and then I was kind of like tossing and turning, and then I'm like, all right, time for you to be a responsible lady before bed. And so I'm not full of man seed. Okay. I just had it emptied last night. Good morning, Jonathan Earl. Casey Jones, I'm not that young anymore, so maybe 20 years ago on on math amphetamine, then maybe, but nowadays no. All I ever want to do is talk, 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 talk. Jonathan Earl, what a wonderful morning to you as well. And did you know that in India, if your name's Cindy, they spell it Sindhi? Indian girls have names? Really? Like Kane Krishna Sarmapagu? All I ever want to do is win, 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 says Natasha. Well, you're a little more competitive than me. I'm so non physical that it took me at least an hour of tossing and turning before I said, fine. Got up and got in the shower and said, let's go, girl. I can't sleep. Let's go, girl. And then after that, I slept fine. I slept wonderfully. Oh, yeah, a lot better, Danielle. Thank you for your concern. She's been a lot better because the last time, well, that's because I broke my bong. Natasha, it's not even a fair contest. I haven't showered since yesterday, last night, but before that, it had been a few days, you know. But you see, I've got new clothes on, or a new shirt anyway, new underwear. Lightbulb says, Eric, I went bowling today and a kid asked me if I ate a bowling ball. Well, had you eaten a bowling ball? You're like, no, I just shoved one up my puss. You shouldn't say that to kids. Jeez, Lightbulb. Just because you're pregnant, don't explain to children you put a bowling ball up your puss. Explain to them that you're gonna have a bowling ball come out of your puss very soon. Who goes bowling when they're that late pregnant? Casey Jones has not showered in over 2 years. Congratulations, you do win. Have you passed a bowling ball out of your puss before, or is this your first one, Lipo? Well, it really depends on what your body's like. If you're like my first wife, she had real childbearing hips. Her water broke. Got to the hospital. Out came the baby. Just like bam, bam, bam. Can I clap with no hands? Yeah, I can clap cheeks. Bowling is the least exerting sport I could think of this late in pregnancy. Fair enough, Lipo. That's true. Except maybe for Tai Chi. One thing that we have in common, Daniel Vesmani, is before I left it in the toilet, my poop was kicking a lot this morning. Drunk Koala wants to box with me? Who's Drunk Koala? I might be willing to box somebody. Hell, I'll replace Mike Tyson and box against Jake Paul. For if I get all that money, I will. Even though I suspect Jake Paul would kick my ass in no short order. It probably wouldn't take him very long. Especially since I can't use my karate chop in boxing, which is really powerful. Who's Drunk Koala? He probably could knock me out in one round. Unless I bust out my karate chop. Like, my karate chop's so fast, you can't even see it. Karate chop! See how fast that is? That would slice you directly in half. Is table tennis less exerting than bowling? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Half the fights are rigged anyway. Maybe the fights between like YouTubers and stuff. I'm not sure. I don't think most major boxing matches I think are not rigged. Natasha taught Jake Paul how to fight, and she purposely taught him wrong. So, well, good for Drunk Koala. I still don't know who it is. Isaac says Christian Cross in a purple square. Well, choose, Isaac. I'm also part of Christendom. Nobody wants to mess with Natasha. Her karate chop was measured at nearly as fast as my karate chop. Mine travels faster than the speed of sound. That's why you can't hear it. Well, this joint is fine. She can lift 4,000 pounds. That's 3,995 pounds more than me. I can only lift 5 pounds. No, you can't hear sonic boom. It travels so much faster than the speed of sound that by the time the sonic boom's about to start, my My karate chop has traveled around the world and come back to karate chop the sonic boom. Snake wine? No, I don't want to taste any snake wine. Fuse steady. I look sexy every day, Mac 468L. A sonic boom is what happens when a plane travels faster than the speed of sound. It'll make a big in the sky. Like thunder is actually kind of like a sonic boom. In that lightning, I mean, it operates differently, but it's a similar noise. It's a nice morning. A little chilly. I'm pleased to see nothing got into our trash can last night. I must say I do like the fact that Rachel believes in feng shui, or I don't know if she believes in it, but I would say yeah, she believes in it. So anyway, feng shui says you shouldn't have anything in the foyer. So I took out the table that we had here. Rachel didn't like the idea of us having it there. And then I put that table from the foyer right here in the kitchen to be my coffee station / cat feeding station. Meow. Okay, well, eat, buddy. You don't need me to watch you that much. Just eat. Yeah. As you see, Kitty here is eating from the chair now, which I kind of like. It's like eating at the table like a kitty with good manners. Oh yes, you've got very good table manners. Oh yes, you do. You have very good table manners. I'm just stirring my coffee trouble. It's okay. Yeah, the feng shui inspired Nirvana's hit song "Something in the Way." I did not know that. That's a surprising piece of news. Well, Kitty has been watched now. He's been watched eating again. Mix his food again, make a stronger pile. There. Are you satisfied with that pile? Hello, Jonathan Carpenter. So apparently, for those who might have been fooled by it, that Nirvana song was not actually inspired by feng shui. You're a silly boy. Yes, you are a silly boy. You have wonderful table manners. All right, so I have the printer here since it's no longer in the foyer. Rachel seems happy with the move. All right. So we're killing time this morning doing a little live streaming. And normally, if it were yesterday, the day before, I'd be like, oh, cool, soccer's coming on. But listen to this bullshit. Today is June 18th. There are only 2 games on today. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. 2 games. First one starts at 9. No. The 9 a.m. game is only on Fubo. So for me, there's only 1 game on today, and it starts at noon. Crazy, huh? Jonathan Carpenter, hello. How are you? I'm I'm always the same with you, Jonathan Carpenter, okay? I've come to understand that sometimes you're a little strange, and that's fine. We get all kinds around here, including you and me and everybody else. If I skipped you when you first got here, I was gonna come back to you, but then I forgot. One of those things. That happens periodically. Same with Lay Ray. Seem to believe truth can be privatized. Who seemed to believe that? Hi, Eric. I have a question. Pick your brain a little. What is truth and should it be defended? I've heard you speak, and you seem to believe that truth can be privatized. Truth is the status we afford to statements for the purpose of affirming them. That's what truth is. It's the status we afford to statements for the purpose of affirming them. Once the statement is affirmed, then we can do additional intellectual work off of it. It's really that simple. People want it to be more complicated than that. Like, some people want knowledge to be, for example, justified true belief. But that's not how it works. Sorry. It's not privatized. It's that objectivity occurs in 2 ways, right? There's an object external to people that everyone can access as in terms of data. It's data equally. And then there's different kind of calculi, interested or disinterested calculi. Disinterested are called objective. Lots of people can't. I mean, you can affirm that you're a squirrel, but you won't affirm it successfully, right? Because statements have a rhetorical slope. Not all statements are equal. Some statements are easy to affirm, some are difficult. No, truth isn't whatever you want it to be. You can, will, do, have, maybe again, will affirm things that are false, which is to say, affirm things that you can't successfully uphold. Some people only affirm things they can substantiate, like me. Almost nobody is me. I am me, but nobody else is. Almost everybody affirms shit they can't justify because they don't have this master meta framework that I have to understand everything. Yeah, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. No, I'm not a skeptic. I understand how language works and what we're doing when we're talking right now. I'm appropriately skeptical in the sense that I understand the burden to affirm lies with the affirmation, right? It's just that simple. It's not more complicated than that. The burden to affirm lies with the affirmation. Is that skepticism? That's just accurately understanding reality. It's accurately describing it is a better way to say it because I'm using words for a purpose. And that's the thing to remember is that everything we're doing here, when we're talking about truth, philosophy stuff, we're using words for a purpose. We need to understand why we're using words, how we're using words, the context, what kind of possible ways in which one might approach the context in terms of using words, and why some are preferable to others. We need to understand all of that before we can be correct. God damn it, this went out. The squirrels are looking at me with plaintive eyes. I can't tolerate it. I don't have any cutlets for them. They're just going to be disappointed. They should just stay inside. The thing is, I get why, Ray, you're still working through this. It's easy to understand why somebody would still be working through this. Because, yes, it's true that you cannot remove people from your evaluation of stuff and have a complete picture. But it's also true that the apparent relativism that implies is not actually implied by it. Doctor Who, What, Where says attention. Here's an update on tonight's dinner. It was veal. I repeat, veal. The winner of tonight's mystery meat contest is Jeffrey Corbin, who guessed some kind of beef. The only truth is my truth, Lightbow says. All right, fine, Lightbow. It's all yours. You can have it. I'm tired of it anyway. So Carlos Paiva says, Eric, can you please explain why you're hotter than Drake right now? Because Drake's just not very hot. I mean, I don't have to work hard to be hotter than Drake. Drake's kind of super sucky and exploitative and kind of like predatory, I think. So this is just my opinion. Allegedly, he's allegedly these things. I can only think of one way in which Drake and I are similar. He's Canadian and used to be on Degrassi. Well, good for him. I don't know what to say about that. You do not want me to watch you eat some more, do you? Yes, you do? All right. More eating then. Go ahead. Oh, now you're going to go up there and eat, huh? All right, fine. You do that then. I got to relight this. I'll be right back. There. I know he's got bad manners. That'll teach him to let me play with it, huh? I think instead of fighting Mike Tyson, Jake Paul should fight Neil deGrasse Tyson. And they should both eat Tyson chicken dinners between rounds. Oh my god, the squirrel has come from over there to come look at me with his plaintive eyes over here. I can't go outside at all, or the squirrels are gonna look at me with plaintive eyes. Yeah, I am an open book. I don't even know what you're talking about, what you're referring to, Jonathan. So, if you said something yesterday that you're thinking about, I am definitely not thinking about it. I don't know even what you're talking about. You want me to get him some more cat food? He still has a little bit on his plate. He's just being a baby anyway. It's like, now he wants to go outside. He just wants me to like coddle him a bit in the morning. Go ahead. Go on now. The cat's not for sale. You like to be coddled too? All right, well, if you want to hire me for $100 an hour, I will watch you eat, okay? You can hire me for that, like, but I don't like to be hired because I don't like to work, but it is possible to hire me. I have to work in a few hours. $50K for the cat, huh? You don't want trouble. Let me tell you that. You do not want that cat. You'd be demanding a refund in no short order. Be like, I don't want this cat after all. Can you please take it back? I can't believe my bong is broken. No, I did not purposely match my mug and my shirt. They're just incidentally matched. I guess because this is maybe a Christmas mug. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful night, we'll touch it tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. I feel just like Nancy Reagan. So, I like Christmas time. I know it's a little early for Christmas. Thank you, Natasha. But I like Christmas time. I like the cold, chilly weather. I like the sleigh bells ringing. That was my imitation of Marilyn Monroe singing a different song than Happy Birthday, Mr. President. I mean, singing a different song than Santa Baby. Here's my imitation of Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby. Santa Baby. That's my imitation of Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby. Lightbow says, stop exploiting Marilyn Monroe. But I just keep saying just one more time. Just one more time. That was Marilyn Monroe singing Santa Baby to Mr. President. Santa Baby, Mr. President. That's what Marilyn Monroe sounded like when she was singing Santa Baby to President Kennedy. No, I don't have any agenda, all right? There could also be it's the same as my imitation of Drew Barrymore singing Santa Baby. Santa Baby, my name is Drew Barrymore. I'm Drew Barrymore. That's my imitation of Drew Barrymore. Okay, well, or we're at saying fun forward. Did I ask you to be a critic? Did I ask for your opinion about whether it qualified as funny enough for you and your fancy humor connoisseur tastes? No, I didn't ask for that. Okay? There's no Rachel in the shot because she's fast asleep, obviously. All right, well, Boba Fett, you just keep talking and get yourself timed out again for a bad attitude. That was spot on, Drew Barrymore, right? Sounded exactly like her. I'm going to try to use this broken bowl here. I'm Drew Barrymore. Okay, you're getting timed out for a bad attitude, Boba Fett. I'm sick and tired of hearing you complaining. All right? Boom. Flip a saber under the tree for me. Drew Barrymore doesn't respect personal space. Right, boo! It's wonderful city. Like that, you mean? Oh, no. He was not just complaining about YT in general. He was complaining about me doing vertical streaming as he has 100 million times before, often very shittily about it. That's Drew Barrymore personally targeting you, Lipo, not me. All right, that's Drew Barrymore. Yeah, she possessed me. Exactly. All right. When I'm channeling Drew Barrymore, she's responsible for my behavior, not mine. Okay, well, I don't like it either. Okay. None of us like the vertical streaming. None of us do. But what I do like is having new people like Lay Ray and Lightbo around. And it was like this when I found it. Right? It used to be that I didn't vertically stream. And what did I get? I got the same people every single time. It was just nothing but the same people. And the channel grew not at all. Now I've got twice as many subs as I used to have. So, nothing I can do about it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Jason L here telling me to blink. Good morning, Mikey Westside. Let's see what Ray is saying. For me, truth is something object-like. It is affirmed by my relation with reality. It is not completely localized to me in the sense that to have truth, there has to be some processing which reflects a process from reality. Everything to me happens in reality, not in thought bubble. Okay, so you're affirming those words, right? That's the statement you're affirming, and you're affirming it presumably because there's additional intellectual work you want to do once you've attained agreement with that affirmation. Get it? Today's Adderall day, but I don't have it yet. So what you're saying is, it is true that meow, 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 meow. And you're saying all those words. And you're saying that for a reason, because you've got other notions or other words that are predicated on those words being affirmed or correct. And remember, when you affirm something, you do so because you seek agreement. Just like I'm affirming right now or negating or whatever I'm doing, it's because I'm seeking agreement. Once we attain agreement, then there's no more intellectual work to be done with the language, right? Will I do an Addy unboxing? I could. Lightbow lives in Quebec, Mikey Whiteside, West Side. The point is, Carlos Paeva and Ray, truth is a status we afford to statements. There is no truth value for anything that is not a statement. People use the word in all kinds of wild metaphorical ways, but truth is a status we afford to statements. So the thing is, the pharmacy opens at 9, but uh, I scheduled a typing session for 9:30 so that I wouldn't be such a drug addict and be like pacing for the pharmacy to wake up at 9 a.m. like, give me my speed. Instead, I have to type somebody at 9:30. What you can expect, Winston's mom. Okay, well, Carlos Paiva, are you affording the statement, the status of true to that statement right there? Is that what you're doing? And Daniel Beswani, are you disagreeing and saying, no, Carlos, you're affording the status of true to that statement is ill-advised, unsubstantiated, or unsubstantiatable? I disagree with it. You must substantiate it for it to be the case. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. When we remember that, then all these conversations get a lot simpler, don't they? I don't want to argue about philosophy with people who don't understand. Or with people who do understand. If they do understand, I wouldn't have to argue with them. If they don't understand, I'm trying to teach them, but they're trying to argue with me. Can I hook you up with some goods? What kind of goods? You are now, James Ortiz. You are as famous as you can be. Note, I am talking with you. Ergo, you are famous. Have I ever smoked crack? Yes, I have, but I don't like that. No, I don't, because I smoked some crack. Yes, I did back when I was like 20 years old, maybe 19 or something. The truth about my statement is tautological. In this case, to deny it, you'll prove it right. Which statement? I am by far the most annoying person. Ask Eric. I can be very anal 99% of the time. I don't think of you as annoying. Nadas the second says, me either. That shit whack. Yeah, I saw that short. Here on, it was a pretty funny short. Does he have me double bound? I don't even know what statement he's referring to. Right. Well, he interpreted it as Taylor making a claim to celebrity, or believing himself to be some kind of celebrity because he was here. That's not how it worked at all, of course. Eric, did you know that once a schizophrenic patient formed a delusion that I was a deity and he had to hold my hands to be one with God? I did not know that. But maybe secretly it was you who was the one who's schizophrenic. And he actually was correct. And all that time it was James Ortiz. You think about him a lot. Did you hold his hand? Or did you say, no, I'm a woman. You can't touch me. I'm married. That's how it's like in Muslim countries. It's like, you can't touch that girl at all, you know. Which I think is appropriate. I think people can kind of be inappropriately touchy with each other. Now I'm in the garage. What do you think about that? That's bad. Hitting your mother on the head is bad. Hitting your mother on the head with a hammer is very bad and is proof that the song Maxwell Silver Hammer is a bad influence. I really like this poster, but I don't know where to put it. This poster was my dad's poster. You know, he was in the 118th Army Band. This was his poster that he had in the house. It's authentic of the time, you know. I don't know what year it was. It was sometime in the 64, 65, 63, 66, somewhere in there. '62. My dad wrote it right there. Because it didn't have the year on it. He wrote it on the glass. 1962. Isn't that a cool poster? This is from 1962. This is authentic. This was a poster that they had. You can see it was folded. You can see there's a fold here. But it was put up in some town, you know. I think that poster is super cool. It's like the coolest thing. Of course, somebody gave it to my dad. One of his bandmates gave it to him. He wouldn't have had something that cool probably himself. But that's pretty fresh, man. If I had a place to put that on the wall, I'd put that up anywhere. Right? Nobody would be like, oh, I don't really want that poster's not cool. That poster is so cool. But I took it down from where I had it because I realized it's getting light on it here. It's gonna fade and stuff. It needs to be like in an inside hallway or some such. So I took it down. I don't want it to get damaged. It smells like weed in here. Is somebody even smoking weed in here? This is what it's like when you smoke joints and you walk back in the house. You're like, oh God, it smells like Bob Marley's basement in here. Yeah, the urn of ashes was next to the poster. Is this vape a penguin? It's called a flum. I've got two of these. This one's tobacco flavored. And this one is supposedly unflavored, but it's kind of minty. It's pretty minty. Even though they say it's unflavored. I'm using these to quit smoking cigarettes, you know. There might be. They've got all kinds of weird flavors. You can get a vape flavor from Japan that's tuna flavored, apparently. I did on Father's Day, Jonathan Earl. I went and visited him on Father's Day and introduced him to everybody. It's easy enough to see my dad. He does appear in some old videos and stuff. You want to try those black American spirits called Perique tobacco? I've never heard of that. What am I watching? I'm watching you, Mikey. I am watching you. Watching you watch me. See? This is what I'm looking at. So now I'm looking at me, looking at me, looking at you. And ad infinitum. Ad infinitum. That way I don't have to have my glasses on to see the chat. Have I ever had babies? I had a baby. Yeah. I had one baby before. Its name was Delilah. It grew up. Now it's an adult. What's something that Natasha and I should both find? Good question. Well, I don't know what we should find. I did almost all the chores that I could even conceivably do yesterday. I had a real chore heavy day. So I don't really have a lot of chores to do right now. I could do a couple of dishes. Sweet Caroline. Boom, boom, boom. Caroline was cute. Yeah, Caroline was cute. True. Damn, my illiteracy BDs like they're tobacco leaf with flavored tobacco rolled in them, and they come with a bundle tied together in twine. To me, the truth exists. It has nothing to do with conversation. It is a conclusion that is true. You mean the statement, right? The statement that you're making, either in your head or to somebody else. You say conclusion, but you mean statement. Right. So he would be unable to affirm that statement that the dog is dead once you establish that the dog is still alive. He'd fail in his affirmation. You'd successfully negate that. Yeah, you can affirm any statement. Absolutely, Carlos. You can absolutely affirm any statement. In fact, you affirm every statement you're making in some sense. Implied in it is, before any statement you make, is it is true that, or I believe that. You can't affirm anything without making a statement. Sure, you could affirm your love for spinach and artichoke dip by simply saying, I affirm my love for spinach and artichoke dip. Right. Well, the problem is the use of correct there. It's just another word for true, and you know, we. It's like it's funny how when it comes to words like true, people want to de-operationalize their definition rather than operationalize it. Even though there's never any good occurred when you de-operationalize the definition, you're just saying, let's try to make this not useful intellectually. What if it's not in a conversation setting where he affirms that for logical reason but is wrong? Well, there's lots of things we affirm that we don't communicate to other people. And then maybe when we're wrong, we do communicate. Like, oh, I thought meow, 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 meow. That's why I did this. I didn't realize it. Meow, 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 meow. Right? Don't get a bumper sticker. Okay. What you should do instead. Okay. Well, Larry, that is not an informative statement at all. Meow, 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 meow. Dab and Paul, hello. Yeah, well, you're not going to get the right answer about truth from anywhere but here, really. I am purveyor of correct answers to difficult questions. Lena Oder Ott Godfrey brother. You sound like you're related to Natasha Godfrey Ashford. You're Lena Oder Ott Godfrey's brother. Correct. You either succeed or fail in affirming something. So, for example, um, Trump may have ended up having the correct position on COVID, but he failed to affirm his position adequately. That's why the country didn't listen to him. No, it's not. You want to define it as that, but indeed, affirmation is the claim, making the claim, right? You say declaration. It's declaration is simply making a claim. Just that's all it is. So affirmation is making a claim specifically that another claim is true. Right. Both those theories of truth comprise part of the explanation of truth: the correspondence theory and the other one. I did get the vaccine because I was required to see my dying mother in the nursing home. I didn't want to get it, but I got it because if I didn't get it, I wouldn't have been allowed to see my dying mother. So I kind of had to get it. I don't regret getting it. I didn't care either way. I didn't think it was going to work, but I also didn't think it was harmful and still don't. I explained that a vaccine wouldn't work way back at the beginning when everyone was freaking out, but nobody listened to me, of course. That's just how it is being Eric. That's the curse of the curve surfer. You don't want to be first, right? You want to be second. Business teaches us that. You don't want to be Betamax, you want to be VHS. Oh, you got a little worm there. There's a bird outside that caught a little worm. You can eat it. Good for you, little bird. Good for you. You're a real winner. There's a kitty right there. I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's chilling. So, the point about vertical live streaming, to get back to it, is none of us like vertical live streaming, right? None of us like it. Only some of us spend a bunch of time complaining about it. I don't like it either. But it defaults to it and says recommended on YouTube for a reason. Every time I go to live stream, it redefaulted back to vertical, and it says next to it in parentheses recommended. So, am I gonna fight against YouTube that much? No, I'm not. Why? Because I'm trying to talk with famous people, more famous people, not fewer famous people. Lipo likes vertical live streaming. If you're watching a live stream on the phone, I'm sure everybody's fine with it, right? You know? And for people who are just listening to the live stream, they're probably fine with it too. But the thing is, you said that, or somebody else said that yesterday. This must be a cut and paste thing. Rob Sema, Victoria Ongton. I don't really like cut and paste things that people do. There must be like some site where you can cut and paste something that's supposed to be disruptive to a live streamer. I don't want to get into a bunch of specifics, Toby Craig. We're comfortable, you know. We try to live relatively frugally. So yeah, on the phone, it's like if I were watching this on my phone, I'd probably appreciate the fact that the chat just comes up here on the bottom. But I don't look at it on my phone, so that's why I don't like vertical live streaming. For me, if I'm I like to get me and Rachel in the picture, right? If she's here, it's difficult for me to do when I'm vertically streaming. How much money did you have? 1.2 billion. I wish it were 1.2 billion, Toby Craig. That would be wonderful. I could use 1.2 billion dollars. Did I see your message about MySpace? No, what did it say? I miss the days when everyone used MySpace, VCR, DVD players, the portable Walkman, MP3 players, landline phones. You miss those days, huh? Hey man, I'm not doing too good mentally. Any advice? Had some people pass away and it's messing with me. Blessings from Australia. Well, Alexander Jocks, I would say, first of all, be good to yourself, love yourself. You know, when I had a couple people pass away in my life in fairly quick succession, I lost both of my parents. Not the worst kind of loss at all, but because they were both old. But I got in the habit of hugging myself and saying, "It's okay, little Eric. It's okay." Helps me to feel better. Passage of time will help those deaths to sink into the past a little bit, but some deaths one never really gets over, I'm sure. Um, and I know from my own experiences there are some deaths one really never gets over. Well, despite having an inheritance, I keep thinking to myself that I want to get a part-time job at the bootjack market. I would say Alexander, that's horrible. You I'm sorry that happened to you. There's nothing else. There's no way to fix that, you know. I am racked with guilt regarding the deaths of both my parents really. Like I felt like I failed to be a good son, a good enough son during the last times of their lives. But ultimately, what you can do is be good to yourself, not just for yourself, but for whoever is left behind. And and remember that that I don't know if you have any faith or anything, but for those of us with faith, there is the notion that there are still things we're meant to do, you know? This is very clogged. No matter how much time you spend with them or how much you proceeded that you love them, that is the one emotion that we all commonly carry when someone passes. It's what? Regret? It's Men's Mental Health Month. It's true. Therefore, you are not allowed to have bad mental health. So, if you have a truthful statement that is in theory true, how is it in practice true? You may have an intuition of something, but no matter what, do you need to affirm it? No, I mean, people behave as though things that they intuit are true all the time, or things that they feel are true. You know, people don't necessarily deliberate the truth of something via logic. Most people rarely do. They still behave as though a given statement is true enough for their purposes, right? Doesn't just because it's not true enough for your purposes doesn't mean it's not true enough for theirs. They may not be able to affirm it successfully to anybody else. They can make some people will affirm anything that they feel like believing in, for no good reason. Lay Ray, oh my God, please don't engage in any self harm. I appreciate somebody coming in and reminding me how fragile everyone is, including me for sure. Like, here I am arguing with Lay Ray, being kind of condescending, etc. Not thinking about how my behavior really impacts other people. Makes me feel sad. Makes me feel upset at myself. Assumption and conclusion, right? Conclusion is your next assumption. A conclusion is the statement that you derive from these processes now that you're going to use for some future purpose. In other words, today's conclusion is tomorrow's assumption. Just remember that the body reacts from you crying in a positive way. It heals you and releases feel good chemicals. That's true. I cry a lot. Mostly from watching anime. Some tender episode of anime will make me cry every time. Well, everyone, I want you to feel appreciated, happy, etc. I don't want you to feel argued with. I don't know. I want I at this point in my life I'd rather be emotionally careful, nurturing, etc. than arguing about being correct much of the time. Much of the time I'd rather be caring than correct these days. Not always, but much of the time. I can't help being correct because I'm habituated to it. But at least formally, when the question's asked, I feel like I'd rather be caring than correct. Because what hurts? What hurts is not being wrong. What hurts is hurting someone's feelings. That's the most painful thing to me that I do, is hurt people's feelings. Fail to care enough. I think to the extent that actualization means anything, it means being so circumstantially supported in your ontology that you prioritize your blind spot function as the absolute value that it is. You're afforded that much ontological space by life that you can prioritize your blind spot as an absolute value. Of course, it's kind of a painful space to be in for me, you know. I find it's a combination of 4 and 7. I remember instances from as far back as childhood where I hurt people, was mean, whatever, and it just makes me hate myself so much. The older I get, the more I understand how fragile everybody is. But additionally, like it seems like right now in history is a very fragile time for people. You know, it's like I think the Arabs have a saying that says, as a as like a blessing or whatever, they say, "May you live in boring times." we don't live in boring times, unfortunately. We live in interesting times, which means volatility, right? I would say the last couple of decades, maybe, yeah, last 2 decades or so, since like 9/11, basically. It would seem that America, anyway, is entering a period of state change marked by a lot of volatility. Periods of state change occur between two states of equilibrium and are marked by a lot of up and down volatility in whatever it is you're measuring. Trevor, I have watched you eat enough this morning. Okay? So just knock it out. Well, 7:15. Got a little more than 2 hours for my typing session. Yeah, definitely a tumultuous time. No, I don't go to the bathroom any better or worse without the audience present. I go to the bathroom exactly the same. I'm not shy about pooping. Interesting times equals dragon tracks. I don't know what dragon tracks equals, but I'm guessing interesting times. It's 9:30, not 7:30. But thank you for managing. I still have another 2 hours before it starts. 2 hours and 15 minutes to be precise. So, I guess I'll wrap this up here pretty soon, probably nowish. And well, let me take some B vitamins. I've been really into B vitamins lately. You can definitely tell that they make a difference. It's it's surprising. I'm not really a big vitamin believer. I think vitamins are kind of bullshit in general. Ah, dragon tracks is a Chinese expression of sinister forces at work. Huh. Cool. I like it. Or just chaotic, if not sinister. Well, I'd say the things seem both chaotic and sinister, There's good reason to believe lots of sinister shit. Like, there's no doubt that there are people in the world with significant political power and or voice who believe wholeheartedly in depopulation in some fashion on the grounds that we just can't sustain this massive global population that we have. I suspect that probably COVID was developed purposely to humanely reduce population, but who knows? Can't say for sure. Justin Timberlake was arrested in New York? Or was he? Let's find out. In Sag Harbor? Isn't that in Long Island? He refused the breathalyzer. Sag Harbor. Where is Sag Harbor? It is on Long Island. And where is Franklin Square in relation to Sag Harbor? That's what I'm trying to find. Oh, this whole island is Long Island? Oh, that really is a long island. But, I think Rachel lived down here on the other side of Long Island. Yeah, she lived in Franklin Square, which is all the way on the southwest end of Long Island, whereas Sag Harbor is up here on the northwest end of this place. So now you know. Now you know. The Sag Harbor is actually, even though they're both on Long Island, it's actually far away from where Rachel was from. How many people on Earth when I was a kid? It seems like there was like 4 or 5 billion when I was a kid, but it's probably not. It's probably a little more than that, but it's what it seems like to me. Lou Reed was from Long Island, huh? I typed this lady from New York the other day, and I'm like, you know, uh, we thought she was from somewhere in New York early in the session. Later in the session, I said, you know, um, I can tell you're from New York, but I can also tell you're not from Long Island. 'Cause every once in a while, you sometimes you sound, right, it doesn't seem like that many, huh? So anyway, Rachel was from Long Island, but not that part of Long Island. And Long Island people, they have the most like New Yorky, the strongest New Yorky sounding accent. But Rachel's not that, doesn't have that strong of an accent. But when I hear her talking with her family, like her aunts and stuff, they all sound like TV show Long Island imitations. They sound kind of like Janice from Friends. Oh my God. Samuel Hernandez, we all poop our pants sometimes, okay? We all poop our pants. Even me. I haven't pooped them in a long time, but doesn't mean I never will again. Yeah, well, people from other parts of New York don't sound as much like that. They don't have as strong of a oh my God. Rachel has her THC vape over there. I could hit it, but I don't know. Uh, right now, I'm kind of flummoxed by a lack of stem to hit bowls with. What brand of THC vape is it? She's got this. Well, I mean, you can. It looks like a Nick vape, but it's not. It's called Inspo. Randy's. Better than Vocal Fry. Is Vocal Fry talking like us? Oh my God, Rachel. Good morning, Rachel. I wouldn't, I don't, it doesn't bother me at all when Rachel's Long Island comes out. You know, Justin Timberlake was arrested in Long Island last night, Rachel. That's why we're talking a little Long Island here. But I looked, he wasn't arrested very close to Franklin Square. He was arrested in Sag Harbor. It's like the whole other side of the island. I looked at it on a map. I see Eric has a large middle-aged female audience. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if that's true, like though. Well, every way of calculating the truth gives you it is affords you what that measurement tool affords you, right? So it's like if I weigh something, it tells me how heavy it is. If I measure the length of something, it tells me how long it is. If I determine the purpose of something, it tells me what its teleology is. We use different ways of determining things, either feelings or intuition or thinking or um, sort of empirical calculation or whatever. He has young people on here. I'm 21. Huh. Well, Ray, I'm especially sorry for being condescending to you at all during these conversations, because you're way further ahead of where I was when I was 21. I get a variety of people around here. You know, freaks and geeks, right? We're all kind of weirdos in our own way. Some such weirdos find this place comfortable. I'm not generally I'm not generally inclined to make people's experiences unpleasant. Sometimes I'm more fighty than others, you know. I I don't feel my oats as much as I used to, you know. Lightbow, you're a Middle Eastern pregnant woman who's hanging out at my live stream. That does not make you normal at all. Just by virtue of the fact that you're here, you're not normal. Okay. You're a Middle Eastern doctor who works in an addiction unit, and you're hanging out here with this old toothless drug addict. That makes you strange, okay? Matarazzi Sound. Caroline was, I believe, 34, if I recall. Right. It's true that Hero didn't ask about her. He just mentioned her. Eric, how do you know I'm not studying you? I hope you are studying me. Everybody should constantly be studying me. That's my position on things. Why isn't everybody writing all of this down? There is going to be a quiz later. Oh yeah, she is married, so you don't need to be involved in that mess. I agree. This is not a sweatshirt. It's called a baseball shirt because it's like the capri of short sleeve shirts. The capris. It's like goes down further than a normal short sleeve. Oh, Diamond's from Jordan? Well, Lightbow's from Quebec. Diamond from Quebec. She's from the only Q country in the world. Oh, wait, I forgot. I got it wrong. There's another Q country. It's called Qatar. That's similar. It's easy to get those two places confused. Qatar and Quebec. Yeah. And if you know anything about Qatar, Diamond, you know that they have an airways that they advertise during soccer games. I was appreciating their advertisements yesterday when I was watching a soccer game or two. There's only one soccer game to watch today because the soccer game that starts at 9 a.m., guess what channel it's on? It's only on Fubo. What? 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 Fubo? The government's kind of whack sometimes. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, the government's kind of whack. I like the Mariposa County government. We've got a good government around here in this county. But beyond that scope of this county, I have very little faith in the governing forces of the state or the country. Or the world. You're from Doha. I'm from Doha, Jordan. Well, keep that in mind in case I ever write you a letter. I just address it. Diamond from YouTube, Doha, Jordan. Hopefully the postman will be able to find you. Well, yeah, they stopped prosecuting some nonviolent crimes. It's like they don't get it, right? Yes, stop prosecuting drug crimes because they aren't crimes. It doesn't mean stop prosecuting actual crimes. For God's sake. But, what are you going to do? You grew up in Doha, Jordan. That's why you can just mail something to Doha and put Diamond from YouTube, Doha, Jordan, and she'll get it. Amon, Jordan. Oh, man. Well, 7:30, huh? Got 2 hours till my typing session. There's like one cartoon that comes out today. There's pretty much zero cartoons. One is almost the same as zero. That's how few cartoons come out today. Nothing's out yet. Look at this. Look at this crazy nonsense. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's Tuesday. Look what's come out today on Crunchyroll. Nothing. Nada. Not a goddamn thing. What? And look what does come out on Tuesdays. This is the only show worth watching on Tuesdays. It's called Unnamed Memory. As you see, I didn't even finish episode 10, so it's not super worth watching, but I will finish that today. And that's it. That's all that comes out on Tuesday. I don't watch Oblivion Battery. I could start, but I don't typically watch it. And then it just dubs. Horrible day. Horrible day for cartoons. It's not a great season. It's weird that like in the olden days, every TV network had seasons, like the fall season, and they'd show like reruns during the summer or whatever. But now, the only thing that really has seasons is Crunchyroll. Shows might have seasons, but the only network I can think of that meaningfully has seasons that I care about at all is Crunchyroll. Yeah, Crunchyroll is my anime channel. They absorbed Funimation, so they're really the only monster in the anime business right now. Yes, it's true that Netflix is getting a lot of their shows after they get them. No, I'm not going to do that Winston-Salem, in part because I told Rachel last night that we might go to the store at 9 o'clock. Anyway, actually, I wouldn't be back in time. I wouldn't be back in time because the pharmacy doesn't open until 9. Oh, it's horrible. How sad. Does anybody know of a place where it does facials where you don't have to lay on your back? Fire Force is great. I love Fire Force. That's an old show. They're doing dubs, but you could watch. You could watch that whole show, both seasons of it, right now on Crunchyroll, even for free. There are Jordanians and there are Palestinian Jordanians. Their accent is different. Hmm. Like, Bo, you need to get your husband to do that for you, okay? I got a typing session this morning, then I got another one this evening. People have been I got this rush of people hiring me to type them. It's kind of super annoying. I have two today and one tomorrow at 11 a.m. I have three today. Oh my God. I got one at 9:30, I got one at 5, and I've got one at 8. So I've got three typing sessions today and one tomorrow. What the hell? What the hell? You know? When did I become all popular to type people again? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe you should just worry about having a baby. What's a typing session? Well, basically, I talk to them on video conference and I ask them a bunch of questions and I tell them what personality type they are. There's a big Muslim feast going down. That's right. It's called Eid al Adha. It's the Lamb Festival where they eat nothing but pork. Eid al-Adha, also known as the Lamb Festival, is the Muslim celebration of pork. It's the time of the year where they all get to eat a, a big pulled pork sandwich. Eric, it's called Squiggle Squiggle Squags. Oh, okay. Cool. Squiggle Squags it is. I don't speak squiggles. I also don't speak Cyrillic. So just everybody with their squiggles and their Cyrillic can just knock it off. I think my MBTI is INTP or INTJ. Very different types. It was like this when I found it, those two types. Thank you. I did pronounce it perfectly. Greetings from Tehran. You're very popular here. Cool. I'm glad I'm popular in Tehran. I don't have anything against Iran. I understand why they are mad at Israel. They've got plenty of good reason to be mad at Israel. I understand why they're mad at America. They've got plenty of good reason to be mad at America. Yeah, my dad once thought I was what do you call that? Somebody who types things on a type on like transcriber or something. I don't know what you call it. People buy lambs or other forms of meat and they give it to families and to the poor. No, I mean, I agree with you. Iran is full of shit too. It's not like they're not full of shit. I'm just saying, I don't, if you're from Iran, I don't have any problem with you. If you're from Russia, I don't have any problem with you. I don't like Putin. I don't like Russia. I don't like theocracies, but I understand that citizens of various places do not represent their governments. Well, stenographer, right. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Winston's poem. Last night I was lying in bed and I was trying to remember the name of William Shatner. I couldn't remember his name because I kept thinking of him as James Tiberius Kirk. Like, what is his actual name? Finally, it came to me. William Shatner. That was his name. He's still alive, of course. He's not dead. He was still making new shows not that long ago. Let's see what he's up to now. William Shatner. He's 93. "41 minutes ago on X, he tweeted, remembering Kevin Burns on his birthday. You are missed, my friend." He's 93. He's still tweeting like at 7, before 8 in the morning. At 7 in the morning, he's tweeting. He's getting up and tweeting. Let's see what his upcoming projects are. I'm very happy to inform you of my latest projects. You Can Call Me Bill is U.S. video on demand, date April 26th. His new children's album with Cleopatra Records will be available on May 17th. It's called Where Will the Animals Sleep? On June 1st, unfortunately, this is already passed, but he held his charity called the Hollywood Charity Horse Show. William Shatner has founded a blockchain authentication platform called Third Millennia. This was an announcement he put up on his website here on the 22nd of March. This is a cool website. Look at this background picture. Is that William Shatner with a surfboard and a suit? What a weird website. Look at this William Shatner website. Is that William Shatner? Bill's appearances. He's 93. On July 12th, he's going to be in Ticonderoga, New York convention. He still goes to these crazy conventions and shit. He's got plans to go. He'll be appearing Friday and Saturday, October 25th and 26th, 2024, in San Antonio, Texas at SpaceCon. Then November 1st in Rhode Island. This guy's 93 years old. What? How in the world? Join Mr. Shatner on an Antarctic cruise. When? December 19th, 2024. Locale, Antarctica. Come sailing with Mr. Shatner during this festive season of Christmas and Hanukkah, which both are celebrated this year on December 25th. You'll meet all kinds of interesting people. NASA astronaut Captain Scott Kelly and our host Daniel Fox from Future of Space, fellow space travelers Audrey Powers and Chris Boshusen, and a cast of many other luminary explorers as they set sail for 10 days on this magnificent continent. They sail on December 19th, 2024. Who wants to go on an Antarctica cruise with William Shatner? I never heard Bill Shatner's version of MacArthur Park. He has been an advocate for the Tennessee walking horse for quite some time now. Wow. Yeah, I heard about his that. I saw an interview of him actually talking about that a little bit. Or maybe it was an interview with Leonard Nimoy talking about it. Interesting guy. Interesting guy. Obviously, not very interested in slowing down, you know. Folds is an unfortunate surname, especially if your first name is Velvety. Velvety Folds is an unfortunate name. Well, I think I will wrap this up now. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I have a pie safe because of Bill Shatner. I watched him on an episode of American Pickers and he discussed the history of pie safes. So I had one made. Huh. Now I want to know about pie safes. All right, well, I'm going to leave now and I will see you guys about noon, more like 1 o'clock probably, because I have to go to town. I got to get my medicine. I'm not going to leave here till close to 11. Then I got to get some stuff at the grocery store. I got to go to the hardware store. So anyway, I will see you all later today. Until then, adieu.